So, the great commandment, to love the Lord your God with all your heart, mind, soul, and strength, and to love your neighbor as yourself. You know, that's a verse that's kind of stopped me in my tracks before, because the part that we kind of read over is that part that is about loving yourself. You know, I mean, basically what that verse says is if you can't love your neighbor, if you don't love yourself, you haven't entered into the fullness of what God has to give you. If you don't have a good self-love, and you know, what is self-love? I thought we were supposed to be selfless, you know, and not think about ourselves. But, you know, the truth is you can't stop thinking about yourself. What you can do is be at peace with yourself. I had a conversation with a guy today that really brought to roost a lot of things in my own life, really. At the end of the conversation, it was me talking to me about real things. You know, what kind of man do you want to be, Paul? What kind of man are you? What do you choose? You know, in that area of self-love, of how I feel about me. You know, there's something about us guys that, you know, as we grow up and we're adults and we have marriages and other things, other committed relationships, and you know, you can divorce yourself from any relationship you've got. You really can. You can divorce your wife. You can divorce relationships from your children if you so choose. You can divorce your relationship from your church, from any relationship, from any job. You can divorce yourself from anything. But you know what you can't divorce yourself from? Yourself. You've got to deal with you. And you know, for a man, as you step to the mirror and you take a look at that person and you look at yourself, there's something you can't stop when you're a man. It's that voice that knows, you know. He knows what you do in your private time. He knows what you've committed yourself to. He knows if you've made the difficult choice and stood your ground and stood up responsibly and taken responsibility for your life and for those that are depending upon you. That person inside a man's heart, that voice, and I'm not even saying it's God, I think it's within each one of us. I don't know, you could call it conscious or whatever you want to call it, but it's that voice you cannot get away from, and it knows. It knows the things that you have practiced. It knows whether you have faced up to reality or not. Now, the truth is, for any man on this planet, if you want to step up to true 100% responsibility, take responsibility of your emotions, take responsibility of your relationships. Because if you're in a relationship if you're married and you got kids, you are the God-ordained leader of that home, and that doesn't mean that you boss everybody around. It means that you're to be a servant leader, strong, committed, selfless, living for them. Making sure that you're doing everything in your power to see them blessed and encouraged and lifted up and unpacked and beautified, developed. Not to mention all the other things you've got to take care of in your world. It's crushing is what it is. It's way more responsibility than you can handle. Now, the person who's true, though, and decides, you know, I'm not my own God. I can't do this. I am not God. I am not my own God. Lots of people are making that choice, that they are their own God. But I haven't. I've looked at that situation and I've said, you know what? I am not my own God. I'm looking for the true living God, and I found Him. I found Him in relationship. I know how I got in relationship with Him, not because I have looked for Him and found Him, but because He has been initiating me this whole time, and He's done everything necessary for me to be completely reconnected to Him. Now I don't have any excuse, because in that relationship with Him, see, that's why every moment of every day I'm reminded of how desperate I am for Him to come through in the areas of my life that I cannot get away from, my responsibilities. And those things that I put off. You know how many things we put off every day? Things that we We let the sun go down on any number of things that we should be stepping up to in strength, not in our strength, in the strength of God, as we step to those things with Him to transcend those things and to set those things in order. I was just having a relationship with my son he's 7 years old, and just about life, and I was telling him, everything falls apart in this world. It's called entropy. It's just a law. If you leave something alone, if you don't actively care for yourself, for your relationships, for your things, they are actively breaking down. It's called the law of entropy. And therefore you have to, with choice, consistently care for everything. It's called stewardship in life. You've got to do it. And I was trying to explain to him that, son, I can't do these things for you. And I love you unconditionally, meaning you're stuck with me from now on. You'll be my son, and I'll love you regardless. But if you don't step up to the plate and take care of business in your life, facing your fears, the little things that you deal with as you grow up, if you don't learn how to do that and learn how to develop a relationship with a true and living God who's present and ready to give you strength and power in the moment, you're going to have some major, major problems in your life, and you're going to be in a lot of pain. And because of that, you're going to cause me and your mama a whole lot of pain too, because we love you so much. And that's just the truth. That's just the world we live in, right? It's just the world we live in. Think about this. Errors that you practice daily. Just a few errors in judgment, practiced every day, over the long haul, accruing interest. Y'all know about interest. They teach us this. They talk about how you can put your money in the stock market, and you can put it in a place where it will accrue interest, and you can become a millionaire in America. It's the same thing with your actions every single day. Are you practicing errors in judgment every day? And are those things accruing interest over time and then showing up in explosive, huge problems? That's how it works. That's how it works. And one's coming, they're coming, and we kind of know it. We know that we've messed up and we're messing up and it's coming, and we like to blame God for that. Like He's going to just let the hammer fall. No, that's just the consequences of cause and effect. And the failure on our part to take true responsibility for the things that we've been given to care for. And so this is not a bad news message. It's been a wake-up call for me today, and I'm just like, God, please help me step up to the plate. Help me take true responsibility. Help me correct the errors in judgment. Right? Here's the beauty of it. That if you are hearing these words that I'm speaking right now, and they're making sense to you, and you're going, yeah, that's me. Oh my goodness. Oh, this or that or whatever. If it's making sense, that's because the Spirit of God is at work in your life right now. And He's inviting you into conquering the things that are even now out there around you, accruing interest. God will do miracles if you'll come face Him and say, God, I'm broken. Give me the strength and then the wisdom to make the decisions that will turn this situation around. Because if you work with Him, He can do miracles. Now, He won't change the law of physics, and He won't change the laws of the spirit realm either. But you can work with Him, and because when the Spirit of God gets involved, He can trump the laws of physics, and He does do that if you're working with Him. So this is a blessing today. I want to bless you guys. I want to encourage you. If God is speaking to you right now, it's because He's ready to, through you, conquer those things that are encroaching you and trying to encircle you and trying to take you out and get you into despair. He's ready to meet those things with you. This is not a preview to your destruction. It's an invitation into becoming a conqueror, more than a conqueror. Man, it is good news. God is with you, and He's for you, and He's done everything that He can to get up underneath you, strengthen you, and lead you forth into war to win for yourself, so that you can look in the mirror and have self-love, that you're not perfect. It's not about being perfect, but it is about having the strength to stand and do the right thing that is the right thing at the deepest of levels, so that you can look at yourself in the mirror and say, I did it. I stood up there and I did it. I'm not hiding from anything. I'm not running from anything. I'm not complaining and I'm not blaming. I'm going there, and God's giving me the strength in a new creation, in a new man, to fight and win and to be like Christ. So that's my encouragement to you guys tonight. Bless you.